Last Boy Scouts. It's Reid the Beard here. So today, me and Scottie hiked in on South Fork of the Kaweah River once again. We're on the Ladybug Trail, and we're at Squaw Creek was where we've kind of set up to kind of test some of our skills. But more than anything, we want to talk to you guys about survival mindset. Kind of back up a little bit. We've already talked about gear and its usage. Let's talk about our mindset in a survival situation. So stick around. It's going to be a good one. So today we kind of want to talk about mental mindset in a survival situation. And there's what I believe to be four basic types of survival mentalities. The first is instinctive survival, adaptive survival, emotional survival, and then physical survival. So when I think of instinctive survival, I think of when an event happens and it's something immediate, you react. You're going to react one way or another, and you do that in order to either preserve your own life, preserve the life of those that are with you. But it's just like it says, it's instinctive. It's something you do without thinking. It's that flight or fight mentality. And we don't get posed too many situations like that, but instinctive is kind of the, I guess you could say it's the caveman mentality. It's
right.
It has to happen right now, or you're in imminent danger. I mean, kind of what's your take, or do you have a similar take or a different viewpoint on instinctive?
No, I like that. Basically, when it comes to your instincts, a lot of it is internal, and it kind of goes back to your own personal moral compass as to how you're going to react, or essentially kind of how you were brought up, or even thinking back to our career, how you're trained.
Right.
So I know they talk about especially in law enforcement, maybe even military, they talk about conditioned black, going into a mindset of freezing when you don't necessarily know what to do in a situation, because it just gets you stuck on stupid. But I think, for me, I think training plays a large part in instinct.
Right.
Because it's muscle memory. The more you train, the more you're going to be able to respond better in any given situation. And going back to survival, bushcraft, camping, anything like that, the more you train and prepare for it, the better you're going to respond if those circumstances come.
Right. So what's your take, so kind of moving forward a little bit, what's your take on, and we may have a differing take, but what's your take on adaptive survival?
Well, basically, adaptive survival is you're in a circumstance and you're stuck with the skill set that the knowledge that you have, and the items and materials that you have. So, in essence, for me, adapting is just basically you deal with what you have in the moment. So
it's not an immediate type survival.
Right.
Instinct, like I said, or we've talked about instinctive. It's once kind of that instinctive portion of survival wears off, now let's adapt to our environment.
Okay.
You see it in the animal kingdom. Animals adapt to the environment that they're in and utilize whatever food sources or water sources. You're adapting to your environment, and that's the way I've always kind of viewed that adaptive survival. Again, it's always a matter of self-preservation and preserving life if you're in that situation. Now, luckily, I mean, we're out in a pretty easy hike, in the woods, but something could happen. I mean, we could have a situation where we have to immediately switch into that survival mode. We're along a trail that has some pretty steep drop off. Something could happen. One of us gets hurt, and now we kind of kick into that mode. Are we ever going to get to that adaptive mode? Probably not in this situation, because we're fairly close to help, and so we're going to be able to kind of go that route. But if we were out here for any long period of time, or a longer period of time, that's when we're going to have to start adapting to our environment and what's around us, utilizing that as resources.
Gotcha. Like for you though, have you ever been in a circumstance where you've had to use that adaptive level of survival?
Yeah, no, and it kind of ties into our next topic, and that's emotional survival.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Emotional survival, people ask, what is it? What does that mean? A lot of emotional survival, I believe, in my opinion, is when you find yourself in that environment where you're in that survival mode. It's being able to keep a positive mental mindset. If you don't have a positive mental mindset, things go downhill really quick. You can find yourself in a lot of trouble just because you haven't stopped and taken a moment to kind of take in everything, and I guess not lose your mind, lose your emotional, go into kind of that panic mode. Stop, think, take a breath, center yourself, and start working with the environment you're in. And like I said, that's the two kind of, I feel like they kind of tie into each other. Once you kind of emotionally calm yourself in a survival situation, then you can start adapting to your environment if you're going to have to be there for a long period of time. And a long period of time could be even as much as 48 hours. That's fairly short time period, regular time, but in a survival situation, 48 hours can seem like forever.
Yep.
And for me, yes, have I been in that situation? Yeah, it's a little different. I've had some turbulence in life.
There we go.
I've had some turbulent times in life, and I had to adapt to my circumstances that I was in, and emotionally, yeah, it was hard. It was hard to deal with some of the emotions that were hitting me, but I had to stop, center myself, and realize that, hey, this isn't going to last forever. I need to stay calm, get through those moments in life that can really take their toll on your mentality, and that kind of brings us all the way into what I believe is physical survival.
Before you get into physical survival, I just want to say I was thinking along the exact same lines. I've always called it PMA, or positive mental attitude, and I think first and foremost and above all, without a positive mental attitude in any survival situation, you are quickly going to go downhill. And the show alone is one great example that I can use for some of our viewers that maybe have seen the show. You see the deterioration of the contestants that are competing once they lose that mindset, once their thoughts start going negative. Oh, I stuck myself with this fish hook, or oh, I twisted my ankle. How quickly their mindset changes and starts turning to those creature comforts that we're used to. Growing up in scouting, I was always taught, having a positive mental attitude can get you through any situation, because keeping a positive mindset, like I'm going to get out of this situation, will help you think better of ways to get yourself out of that situation that you're stuck in, whatever it may be. So that's just piggybacking off of what you said.
No, I agree completely. I agree. And and those who watch alone, or if you haven't, we encourage you to go check it out on the History Channel. Outstanding. If you really want to see what true survival and adapting to your environment is, it's a phenomenal show. And all the contestants that go on there, hey, I want to give them a big shout out, because they've got a much higher skill set than myself, and I can't even imagine how easy it would be to lose that positive mental mindset when you're in that environment. So hey, props to all those people who actually take on that venture and go do that. But physical survival.
Okay.
Good example back there. Threw up a tarp today just for a little bit of shade. This is part of physical survival. You need certain things in order to survive: food, water, shelter, fire. We've covered a lot of this. Down the road, we want to cover some more like shelter builds. We have some things hopefully coming down the road. We are hopefully going to be teaming up with one of our counterparts in Europe. We want to give a big shout out to Adam, and it's Adam Arrow Outdoors. So we've talked to Adam a little bit, chatted with him. I think we're going to put together a little bit of a challenge that we can span the globe with, and that'll be a fun one. And so we're looking forward to working with Adam on that one. And if you haven't checked out his channel, it's Adam Arrow Outdoors, is formerly TSM Adventures. Go check him out. The guy knows his stuff. Great guy. We love chatting with him. So we shot him some Last Boy Scout swag not too long ago, and he said down the road he's going to return the favor. So we definitely like to promote his stuff, because he does a great job. And you know what? Those crazy Swedes, you gotta love him. He does some really cool stuff. So we encourage you to go check out his channel. But now that I've kind of gone off track a little bit, physical survival. It's meeting those physical needs that you're going to need in order to survive in in a dire situation. We've showed water procurement. One thing we haven't showed yet is food procurement. Whether it's going to be actual hunting or hunting small game.
That's such a huge, ample skill set that we can compartmentalize into so many different types of skills. Procuring food, I mean, you got a lot of options out there. And one of the things that I've tried to continuously do in each little video that Reid and I have done is I'll sneak in little plant ID things, because you'd be surprised walking outdoors. It's like even in your own backyard, you got things at your disposal that you can live off of, that you can survive off of, and that you can thrive off of.
Yeah, and with the gathering and stuff like that, again, kind of going back to alone, you see when people are able to procure either fish or small game, what it does to their emotional state.
Correct.
That positive mental attitude, that positive mental aspect, how it feeds into that, and the two are tied together. What I believe each of the 4 different phases of survival, they're not mutually exclusive. They are interlinked with one another. So, but physical survival, that's where you're going to have to. That's going to feed that mental aspect, and you're going to physically survive also by adapting to your environment. Again,
Exactly.
all tied into one another. Instinctive is really kind of the outlier in that, because that is an immediate thing. But once that immediate emergency has kind of passed, now we evolve into the other 3 aspects of survival.
It's all development and growth. I mean, just because you have a certain mindset or whatever you're dealing with at this particular time does not mean you can't learn more and grow and develop and just become full circle better at each and every single one of those things, from the mental aspects to the instinctive aspects.
Right. So one of the things, going back to the mental aspect that we have to think of, and that's in the instinctive and the emotional survival, is one of the things I want to bring up is, if you don't know the acronym OODA, observe, orient, decide, and act. So I had an instructor once tell me the best way to kind of describe this is observe, I see the beer. Orient, I grab the beer. Decide, I drink the beer. And act is I order another beer. So it's a loop. It's a full loop. And he also, it was great the way he put it. He says, on a normal basis, a normal human being, that OODA, that loop, is constant. It's always moving. You're always making decisions. He said, like a 13-year-old boy, his OODA is very slow. And a 13-year-old girl, it's all over the place. So, but you're constantly in that.
You can tell Reid's a dad.
Yeah, definitely a dad. And I have a 14-year-old daughter who her OODA is firing constantly. You're constantly in that decision-making loop.
Yep.
So, knowing that, you also hear about people getting stuck in what's called the goofy loop.
Yep.
And that is condition black, when you're talking about the color codes of awareness. But you get stuck at one point in that loop and you can't get out of it. A prime example, and we've seen, and I'm sure several of our viewers have watched different law enforcement videos, where you have an officer who's drawn his gun and he's telling the assailant, put the knife down, and 30, 40 times he's saying the same thing, and
Stop.
the whole time,
freeze, stop, freeze,
Yeah.
put it down, stop, freeze, without acting.
yeah, and never moving forward and getting out of that orienting process. So if you're out, you're hiking, you're doing whatever, you're camping, you find yourself in that situation, be very aware of that we can get stuck in that loop very quickly. So, you know, be mindful of stuff like that, and, you know, talk about the color codes of awareness. When you're out, you should always, it's heads up, head on a swivel, even when you're out just on an average hike or out and about. Be aware of your environment and look what's going on around you. And best part of that, if you'll see danger coming if you're observing, if you're watching, but also
listening.
That's all part of that process. But the other thing too is we have a tendency to not see the beauty around us too. And when you are mindful of observation, you see things that you may have missed before, and those tend to make good memories for you too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I feel like we've kind of covered it fairly well. And is there anything you want to add before we go ahead and kind of wrap this up?
No, I think this is an often overlooked topic. Just breaking down step by step, or compartmentalizing our skill sets, and just sometimes we're not really aware of what it really takes to come out here and do these things. And if you're not taking those things that Reid and I just spoke of into consideration, you're missing a very large part of what it is to do all this. You can go out and buy all the equipment. You can read all the books. You can have all the maps and all the cool, you could be a gear whore and do all this stuff. However, without those other elements, you're missing a piece of the pie, and you need the whole pie to be complete to be successful out here in the wilderness.
And remember, it's ever evolving too. You're never going to be a fully, you know, you're never going to have all the knowledge. That's, you know, we say knowledge is your weapon, and it is your weapon when you're in an environment and you're outside, and even just in your daily life, having that know-how, that ability to be able to deal with situations that come towards you, it's a great thing. But we're ever learning. We're always putting more tools in our tool belt. You know, like I said, we've said it time and time again. We are not the experts. We don't portray ourselves as the experts. We're just sharing our experiences and things that we've run across in life, and we want to share them with our viewing audience. Because bottom line is, we want to help make you guys better too. And we always encourage our viewership, those whether on YouTube or on our Facebook or Instagram, hey, if you got different ideas other than us, please, man, we are open to those ideas. So throw them in there, and we will definitely consider those and put them into action. And you know, we want to be able to connect with you guys that are out there watching us, and we appreciate all of our new subs, our old subs. Thank you for supporting us.
Love hearing from you guys. Love communicating with you guys. Some people have thrown out some great ideas. Man. Piggybacking off Reid. Really love your support. Really love you guys. Thank you very much.
So before we go here, I just want to say we got some really exciting stuff coming up. Brandon Craig, we're going to see him in a video coming up here fairly soon. I'm not going to spoil it. Brandon has a very good skill set. We want to share that with all you guys.
Oh yeah.
The guy does some really cool stuff. So we're definitely going to bring him in. Dale, we're going to try to get him back out here at some point. The bald one. Dale's a wealth of knowledge, and we love having him out. And it's sometimes our schedules don't line up, but we want to get Dale out here again, get him back out. We sometimes got to drag him out of the house, but we're going to get him out.
We've got some other people who have assisted us with other videos, filming, editing, things like that, or have made little sneak peek appearances, like our buddy Chris Fonts. Shout out to Chris. But if you've got a unique skill set that you want to come out and share with us and contribute, I mean, we're going to be doing medical stuff. We're going to be doing shelter builds. We're going to be building things and tying knots and all this fun stuff. More hiking, more adventure. If you've got a unique skill set and you have the ability to come out here and hang out with us and share what you know and love and we'd love to have you come out. So shoot us a comment. You can get us at our email at thelastboyscouts2021@gmail.com. Comment in one of our videos. If you're a part of our Facebook group, you can get us on there. Or if you're not part of our Facebook group and you are on Facebook, come over and join us. We also have an Instagram, The Last Boy Scouts. Check us out on there too.
Yeah. So last but not least, coming up in a few months, we're going to be hosting Range University, and they're going to be local. Mikey B's we've been kind of on him, and he finally said yes to our request to do some classes locally in Central California. Some outstanding classes. You've been through one of the classes that he's offering. It's a home hardening class, and it's about home security, how to improve your home security, and looking for deficiencies and how to make your home a safer place. Outstanding class. And
not to give too much away on Mikey's classes, but needless to say, they're interactive, and the interaction that you have is awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So and also it's going to be 2 days in November. I recommend you go over to rangeuniversity.com, sign up on the email list, and then from there you can go sign up for the events. Like I said, they're mid-November. They're going to be held in Visalia, California. He's doing a austere emergency casualty care course also, which is just...
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, I can't. Absolutely amazing. The guy has... he is a top-notch instructor with real-world expertise. A little background on Mikey. He's a former Green Beret. Was a 18 Delta, I believe, which was a medical sergeant, and did numerous deployments overseas. And so he's willing to teach that expertise and teach those skill sets to our community, and we can't thank him enough. So look forward to that. Go check out rangeuniversity.com. Look for the classes. We'd love to see you come on out. And hey, you know what? It's always a pleasure to come out and sit down. We haven't really sat down a chat in a while, and so wanted to get out here and just kind of we're not really interactive a whole lot with stuff. We want to sit down and talk to our audience and tell you how much we appreciate you guys viewing our videos and sharing them. So remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and spread the word. We're building this thing slowly but surely.
Yep.
And so we're happy to have all of you, whoever we have, come on down and check out the videos.
Heck yeah.
And all our other media outlets that we're utilizing. So, hey, for the Last Boy Scouts, I'm Reid, the Beard, and this is
Scottie, the Professor Neas.
And
stay tuned, stay vigilant, stay safe.
knowledge is your weapon.
Be prepared.
Have a good day.